So the Texas Rangers' new single A team contacted me last week and asked to send me a bunch of merch, and I said sure. So I am now a firm supporter of the Hub City Spartan Burgers. It's actually super cool merch, like I really like it. Shout out to them, man, that's awesome, thank you guys. Anyway, what is going on, everybody? In today's video, we are gonna be taking a dive back in time and looking at some of the NFL's most forgotten players. I actually threw a tweet out on like Friday, not expecting anything out of it, and it absolutely exploded. So we're gonna do a video. Real quick before we hop right into it, don't forget to use code WyattzWorld on G Fuel or Prize Picks, where you can save yourself a discount on any G Fuel products or match up to $100 of your first deposit. And boy, do we have some big news. The NFL seasonal prediction window has opened up on Prize Picks, which means you can now go in and pick which quarterbacks you think are gonna throw more or less on a set amount of passing yards, more or less on rushing yards, receiving yards, sacks. Not to mention there is also a Patrick Mahomes free square in this where all he needs is one passing yard on the season for his entry to win. But remember to always play responsibly, and let's get into the video. Okay, so here's the tweet I threw out. It just said, this is a forgotten NFL player thread. I'll start, and I threw out a picture of Duke Johnson Jr. As you can see here, we got over 2,000 responses, over 7,000 likes, and over 6 million impressions. Now, believe it or not, majority of the responders are actually participating in this tweet. However, there is quite a few moral superiority warriors out there who are just saying, y'all already forgot about Duke Johnson? What are you guys, 12 years old, only thinking about players from 2 years ago? Yeah, like you guys just sat around on your couch all last season and thought about Duke fucking Johnson. Anyway, starting off with my man Connor, he threw out CJ Anderson. Said that was one of his favorite players in 2015. His game-winning touchdown run in the snow against the Patriots in OT will always bring him joy. I got a good kick out of CJ Anderson because my response to him was that guy needed an oxygen tank after a 5-yard gain, because he truly did. Not a bad player, but damn, he was not a fast player either. Moving on to Caleb, he says the man, Alfred Morris. Dude, I haven't thought about this guy in years. He played for a lot of teams in a short period of time, but wasn't he actually like a dog with Washington for the first couple of years of his career? He literally was. Look at this. In Washington, his rookie year, he had 1,600 yards and 13 touchdowns. Then it went to 1,200 yards and 7 touchdowns, then 1,000 yards and 8, and then he took the Jordan Howard route. Carson says, say hello to Cowboys legend Jeff Heath. You know, I'm not gonna lie, what happened to him? How long has he been gone? I feel like he wasn't bad, but he just didn't play that long. Max here says James Robinson, and I hate that this one's true. I hate how forgotten he has become and how good he was when he entered the league just not too long ago. This guy was undrafted, and then his rookie year was somehow a top 10 runner in fantasy, and I had him. Like, it was nuts. Moving on, we got Ronnie Hillman. I remember him. He was really short, and he actually played on the Vikings for a bit, and also I think he's dead. Rest in peace to Ronnie Hillman. That got really depressing. Here's another moral superiority warrior. Are y'all 11 years old? Just can't stand to see people having fun and interacting with each other. Moving on, we have Blizzy Made to Beat. He says Eric Ebron. This is another fantasy home wrecker. Another guy who would sit on the waiver wire and go from team to team every single week, but once in a blue moon, he would have like 50 yards and a touchdown and completely fuck someone over. I fell victim to that more than once. All right, now we're on to Blitz and Bones. He says, Kerryon Johnson. I remember his first year with the Lions. A lot of people, including myself, thought they actually had their guy. They had their Jahmyr Gibbs of the time. No. This guy was ass. All right, now from Jonathan, we have Jeremy Maclin. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. He was a first-round pick, and he did have a few good years, but I don't think ever turned into what he was supposed to be. Kind of like a better Jerry Jeudy, far as like career trajectory goes. But yeah, he retired pretty early on, and I think if I read right, he is a football coach now for a high school. Jonathan again coming back to back with Isaiah Crowell. Who could ever forget the man who wiped his ass with the ball and threw it into the stands? He was on the Jets when that happened, by the way, and I'm pretty sure the Jets running room was like him and Bilal Powell. Kyra says Jordan Reed. That's another good one. He's already been gone for a while too. He retired in 2019 or 2020 after a short career. He was always a decent tight end, but I don't think he was the healthiest either. Moving on, Jackknife says Jay Ajayi. He has one of the weirdest, most head-scratching careers I've ever seen. He only played for like 5 seasons. Went off in Miami, then the next year got traded to the Eagles, helped him win a Super Bowl, and then basically was never heard from again. Trained in the art of kayaking, he says Danny Amendola. Amendola. That's another good one too. Makes me think of Chris Hogan. Well, to be fair, Danny played way longer than Chris. It's just that they're both two random white guys who have multiple Super Bowl rings with Tom Brady. Almada has, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me right now. Is that Cadillac? We don't forget around here, boy. Just kidding. Unless your dad got you a Cadillac Williams jersey in 2005, you probably never think about him either. This one's from AJC Football. He says, Prince Amukamura. That's a good one. I don't think I've thought about him in a very, very long time. Where did he finish playing? Chicago? Oh, got another moral superiority. I need to feel better than you guy here. I can tell by just 90% of your guys' replies that you're not over the age of 20. Not a single person on this app cares about impressing you. Sean Johnston says Ted Ginn Jr., the best wide receiver we ever gave Prime Cam. Listen, I'll agree he's forgotten, but I don't know if he's the best wide receiver that Prime Cam ever had, especially looking at Prime Kelvin Benjamin. Or, you know, that one guy, Steve Smith. Joe Eagle here says Elshon Jeffrey. He was a dog on the Bears, man. I know his Eagles tenure wasn't the greatest thing ever, but he was really good in Chicago for a bit. Hey, Arnold says Theo Riddick. This would be the most annoying son of a bitch to have to play against, because whenever the Lions would be in deep shit, back against the wall, 3rd and long, he would be the one to somehow come up with the first down. Wasn't the best running back, but he would burn you in the catching game. This person says Thaddeus Moss. Well, you kind of have to have an NFL career for us to forget about you. That one's sad, but that's another prime example of the last name doesn't just mean they're going to be an elite player. Ooh, Michael here says Doug Baldwin. I've actually always felt bad for him. He had a shortened career because he just couldn't pass a physical anymore. The guy got too banged up, but he was always like relatively good when he played with at least Russell Wilson. Matter of fact, I don't know if he ever played with anybody else. Now from Koo, we have Sean Spence. This guy, he only played for like 3 years, I think, and I remember really wanting him to be good because Psych is my favorite TV show and the main character's name is Sean Spencer. I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna be good. And no, he played for literally like I think 3 years, maybe 4. Liv Morgan Enjoyer says LeGarrette Blount. That is 3-time Super Bowl champion LeGarrette Blount to you. All right, this one's from Robert Bales. He says Julius Thomas was an absolute monster with Manning. That he was. He had 2 double-digit touchdown years back to back and never even fucking came close again. Not sure if he ended with this team or not, but I remember him being a Dolphin for a little bit too. I don't know how good he did there. Venom says Shaquem Griffin. Am I an asshole because of the year he got drafted in that Madden? The first thing I did when I got that Madden was open up the Seahawks roster to see if he actually had one hand or not. He did. Oh gosh, look at this ratio from JT. Y'all's bags are not that deep because, you know, I'm not talking about a player from 1980. 23,000 likes on that. Like, why did this tweet piss so many people off? I don't understand. I'm just reminiscing about football players. Dev said the 1-yard touchdown king, Matt Asiata. To be honest, I haven't thought about him for a long time until this year when I saw how terrible Alexander Madison was. Then I started to actually miss this king. 5-star GOAT has Philip Lindsay on here. Damn, I probably could have threw him on my Linsanity run list. He went nuts for the first couple of years he was in the league, and then, yeah, again, just completely gone. Wacko here says Chris Carson. I just knew he was going to be great. This is another unfortunate one for the Seahawks, man. Just couldn't stay healthy. I haven't forgotten about Chris Carson for a day, though, because I was a fan of him, dude. I just don't think they've replaced him truly yet. Go Bills says people forget Reggie Bush was a Bill in 2016. We like to forget it. Oh, here we got another hard ass. Looking through this thread reminded me y'all are not built like me at all. Like, what douchebags? Who are you trying to flex on? Ty says Tevin Coleman. Hey, he wasn't bad either. He went off on the Falcons, then went to the 49ers, and I think kind of split with, was it Mostert? And then he went around to a couple different places. I know he was on the Jets for a bit. Oh my gosh, another one. Whole thread full of children. When you see who they're listing, do you not understand? This is not people who have been out of the league the longest. It's just people who aren't playing anymore and that we typically don't think about. This has got to be the most miserable place on planet fucking Earth. Couple more here. This one's from Mikey. He says Orleans Darkwa. That's another running back who hasn't been under a beam of light in I don't think like 6 years. Vibe says shout out to Jalen Samuels. What the fuck happened to him? Like, where is he? Connor Sullivan says Trey Burton, a big old tight end. Matter of fact, out of the blue is shining some light on me here. Trey Burton is a Super Bowl champion with the Eagles. And ending, we have the one-hit wonder Kenny Golladay. You know, the funny thing about Kenny Golladay is his last season was in 2022. However, I think his last season was 2019 because that's when he exited my life. Matt Stafford made him. He went off for like 2 years, got hurt, then signed a big deal with the Giants where he would never ever for 1 second be worth a penny of the value, and now nobody wants a fucking thing to do with him. And that is gonna be all, ladies and gentlemen, for today's video of me talking about some forgotten NFL players. Hope you guys had fun with it. Hopefully we shedded some light on some names you haven't thought about in a while. However, in the meantime, I'm gonna get this edited so you guys can watch it on time. I hope you have a great rest of your Monday, and as always, I will see you in the next video.